Hello and welcome to Season 6, Episode 3 of the Sajin Photography Podcast. And I must say it's been a while, but I have been super busy. Now, today we're going to be talking about a project that is near and dear to my heart. And I believe I've said this before, but recently I've decided to kind of reimagine or reapproach something that sort of has been dogging me for the last couple of years. And if you've followed my work a little bit, then you kind of already know what I'm getting at. But let's just roll with this. And this is going to be a completely raw episode, as I'm just trying to get this podcast out so you guys have something to listen to. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about reshooting my entire Ulsan portfolio, something that I've put a lot of effort into, coming up with a creative title. I'm calling it, are you ready for it? The Ulsan Project. Yeah, that's very, very creative. I know. Thank you. At any rate, why am I doing this? Well, let me take you back a number of years and just sort of talk about what's been dogging me. And that is, as a photographer here in the no-jam city of Ulsan, I had sort of a problem of just sort of seeing a lot of the amazing photos that other people have taken all around this great country of Korea. And yes, for those who think that I may take shots at other photographers, be it Korean or not, no, I actually respect a lot of the people out there. I may poke fun at a few people, but on the whole, I respect a lot of the photographers that are taking pictures, especially the landscape photos in this beautiful country, because they are actually showing the beauty of Korea, not just whatever is popular on TikTok. So that being said, for myself, I felt kind of disadvantaged in many ways because here I am stuck in No Jam City. And if you don't know what No Jam City is, 재미있어요 is the Korean word for interesting in Korean. And No Jam is sort of I wouldn't say it's a new thing, but it's been around for a while, but it just means not interesting, boring. If something is really interesting, it's gul jam, which is gul is honey and 재미있어요, so gul jam. But Ulsan has never got the gul jam, they got the No Jam. And I really sort of struggled with this. And then also part of that is that as I am a full-time English teacher. Yes, some people may call me a hobbyist. Others may call me there's other words. But what I sort of struggle with was just being able to get out and shoot in new locations up until recently, but we'll get into that in the next episode. Basically, I sort of struggled for many years just shooting the same stuff, shooting out my back window over the Taewa River, walking down the street to the Lotte wheel and shooting that, because it was all sort of around me. I did what I could. Sometimes I'd get out to the ocean, and then sometimes I'd just revisit places. And it really sort of got to me. And not in like a midlife crisis kind of thing, oh, woe's me, but in sort of the sense that when you look at your body of work, you step back and say, like, what am I trying to say here? What are the wow images? And yes, I got some wow images, but I was also starting to think, could I get these wow images in other locations? And then became the problem of, well, how do I get to those locations during those wow times of the day to get those wow shots? Wow, right? And what I sort of realized kind of recently is this. And if you're struggling kind of with this same sort of feeling of mediocrity, this may help you as well. I can't get to everywhere all at once. I can't. I'm not a roaming, traveling photographer. Again, you may call me a hobbyist, fine. But I am still trying to get out there and take some good photos. And I thought, well, a lot of the good photos that I had, well, they're getting old. Things have changed. Like, this is Korea. Like, things change year to year. And a good example of this is being the Simbok Rotary in Mugudong. A couple of years ago, they actually yanked out the whole freaking rotary. There's no more rotary there. It's a wildly crazy very complicated intersection. And so that means that all of those photos that came previous to the rotary extraction, I guess you would call it, are now sort of dated. If you look at those photos, and if you're needing an example, I still have to change one on my blog website. So if you go to my blog on the main page and scroll down to the bottom, for the time being, you'll see a shot of the symbolic rotary. It's gone now. It's been gone for years now. So things like that, where I started thinking like, how can I go back and reshoot the city? Now, key point here, how can I go back? The answer was simple. Just do it. Just go out and do it. Every weekend, shoot a new location. If it sucks, go back the following weekend. And that's sort of what I did. So I started off with the Daewongham shot. Everybody knows Daewongham in Donggu. It's a classic Ulsan shot. It's something that when I first came to Korea, my photographic mentor, Dave Harvey, he had a beautiful shot. It was all there. And it sort of was one of those things where it really kicked off in my brain, like maybe I should take a poke at this photography thing. And so I went out and I got some shots a few weeks ago. Then following that, I did, of course, out my back window. I did along the Taewa as I took a walk to one of the markets. And most recently, I actually got out and went to, I believe it's called Namwon Plaza in Mugadong, which is the other side of the Simbok Rotary. And I got shots that, there's kind of a story to this. So here's what the story is years ago, I won a photography contest through the Busan web, I believe. And basically, I got a trip to Japan. Well, it was, Fukuoka. And you know what? I'm not complaining. It was a free trip to Fukuoka. I still remember that trip. It was kind of interesting. It was one of my first few solo trips. I met some interesting people, but the whole shot came from Dave Harvey. Dave Harvey took me up to the roof of Namwon Plaza, and we shot the Simbok Rotary at that time at night. And he was the one who really sort of showed me how to do night photography. And it really sparked a love affair with rooftops and sort of night photography. Now, I tried finding the shot. It's somewhere online, but it really wasn't that good. It was way past blue hour. I was shooting with a Canon, I think it was like a 300D or something like that. So it was, not a great shot, but keep in mind that this is now probably over 2 decades ago now. So again, I'm much further than I was back then. Maybe not. But here's the thing. That same building was where I got married. I will never forget that day. My wife looked amazing on our wedding day. It was one of the best days of my life. And so that building always sort of had a special place for it, especially now. I actually drive past it every single day, and I relive these memories a little bit when I'm not honking and giving the middle finger to oncoming traffic. But at any rate, so I recently got back to that rooftop. I was surprised I could still get onto it easily. And this came all about because one of my students, Zod, in my photography class, took a shot that he said was inspired by a shot he's seen from me. And I was really touched by that, but also it kind of gave me an idea that, hey, I can actually just go back and shoot that shot. So as I'm collecting all of these shots, the thing that really occurred to me was that it's re-sparking this love affair for the city. And so the Ulsan project will continue until I'm satiated, until I get all the shots that I want to. So even this weekend coming up, I'm probably going to redo the Lotte wheel just because, well, it's down the street from me. And again, why am I doing this? Why don't I just go back through my catalog and just pluck out some of the keepers? The reason is I want to sort of go and reimagine or just experiment or just give myself permission to be creative here. It could be a wider lens. For the Lotte shot, I'm going to try and use my 10-stop ND filter. And it's also a way to sort of redo some of the shots that maybe I wasn't too happy with. Maybe the light wasn't that good at that time. So that's what I'm really trying to do with this Ulsan project, is just sort of reimagine, recapture, redo all of these photos that I've been taking over the years, but with sort of a mission in mind. I'm not just going there because I can. I'm going there because I have a particular shot in mind that I want to get. And I think that, to be honest, that's what's going to make these images a little bit different this time around. And I'm going to try and go out every single weekend to another spot in Ulsan and try and get some shots. And, if you have any good ideas for this fair city, feel free to drop me a line and tell me where I should go. But that being said, that's basically what I've been up to. Next week, I'm back up to Seoul for another adventure. So I'm going to be probably posting a few more posts about those adventures, because they're the ones that, strangely enough, I am actually being paid to work there. So, I'm really putting both feet forward on these photos from Seoul. And actually, one of the future episodes, I'm going to be talking about the Ulchiro Neon Alley, which I think is, I got some great shots there, shots that I'm personally proud of, but shots that I've been wanting to get for a very long time. And I just never got around to going to that part of Seoul. So that being said, I'm going to wrap things up here, but do keep in mind, I'm going to be trying to post more, of these episodes, these shorter episodes, just to try and get more content out. I apologize for, really being late with these. We've gone through some up and downs here, and I just have been, the podcast has been at the back of my head as there's like a million other things going on. But keep in mind, so to recap, the Ulsan project is going ahead. And to give you an idea of what I'm doing right now, I've got Monday to Friday, I'm working at actually KHMP, which is an amazing place to work. I've got still the photography class on Saturdays, 10 till 12. And just as a side note, if you are looking for a free photography class and you are in the area, feel free to sign up. We've got a gallery exhibition coming up in November. There's still time to sort of work with the class, learn from me, and make something amazing and be a part of a really good group of students. So again, if you're looking for some free photography classes, reach out to me. I'll be happy to put you in touch with all the powers that be to get you into that class. So I do those on Saturday, and then I've got the Seoul City. I write now for Visit Korea, or Visit Seoul. Sorry, there's so many visit things, but I write for Visit Seoul, and once a month I go up to the big city and photograph and write about different themes and tourist stuff. So do check it out on Visit Seoul, and you can find that pretty much if you just type those words in, Visit Seoul. At any rate, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon.